Hello and welcome back to the Hocking Hills podcast. I'm Michelle and I'm your host. We're here at the Logan Theater in downtown Logan with James Martin, and we're excited to be here to find out the history and the future of this wonderful treasure theater. And we want to get started and learn more about the theater. Can you do that and let us know what's going on?
Of course, yeah. My name's James Martin. I'm the president of the Logan Theater. This theatre used to be a vaudeville theatre. It was built around 1926, and in the 40s it was converted just purely to movies. The theatre itself closed in 1992, and then it was mothballed right up until 2018 when myself and a group of people decided to purchase the building, and ever since then we've been renovating it. So that's where we are now.
Wow, how exciting. And what a wonderful thing to give back to the community.
Absolutely, yes, and it's lovely to have a theatre up and running again, because it will be the anchor tenant for the revitalized downtown as well. So yeah, we're excited.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here and learn as much as we can. James, can you tell our listeners a little bit more about yourself and not just your role here at the theater, but your community involvement?
Absolutely. Well, I was an entrepreneur from a young age, and I came over here in the summer of 2010 after investing in the Columbus Washboard Company, and since then I've diversified my career and I'm now communications director for Hocking Hills Tourism Association. I have a lot of involvement in the community. I'm also a city councillor, and I absolutely love Logan, and I want to try and give back and say thanks for the opportunities that I've been given. So this is an absolute perfect fit for that.
Wonderful, wonderful. So we have been able to get some footage today and see some of the renovation that's already been done. It's just amazing. Can you explain what has been done so far and what yet has to be done?
Right, well, there's been an awful lot of infrastructure, which is the boring part of the project, but we had to have the electric go in, the gas, the water, all the utilities all upgraded. And then of course, once we did that, we then started working on the second and the third floor. And you're sitting here right now on the third floor. So once this is all done and we are ready to move to the next stage of the project, which we are pretty much now, that is going to be the auditorium. That's what we need to start fundraising for. And of course, that will include things like audio, the screens, and all of the seats and everything that goes along with that. So that's going to be the exciting bit, and that is the very final part of the project. We do also need to renovate our basement as well, and that's something that could possibly be done in the future, but the big thing that we're focusing on right now is the auditorium. Wonderful.
Well, and I had mentioned to you that I'm from Toledo, and we have a delightful similar theater, and it's been renovated, and we've done a lot of fundraisers at that location, concerts and what have you, and I have offered to do a fundraiser for you guys next year when we get through this COVID situation. So I hope you guys take that offer up.
Absolutely, we appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to get through the Jeep run now.
That's right.
And as soon as we get through that, we'll start planning, and hopefully we'll get you guys to a good fundraiser to help with that renovation of the theater.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It will be our pleasure. So have you been able to find any antiques or historical pieces that you'll be able to utilize for decor or pieces in the facility?
Yes, we have already reutilized the lights that were here. They all got converted to LED, and we got them all cleaned up, and they look absolutely wonderful. We also found in the manager's booth there was an old rotary telephone, so we've got that out.
Wow.
And a typewriter as well, and I spent a good couple of weeks getting that back up and running again with WD-40. And Yeah, we're trying to see whatever we can find that is related to the previous company, which was Shaker's Theatre. Anything that we can find, we will put on display. But the biggest thing is that we are renovating the original projectors, which run the 35mm film, and those are the original ones that go back to the 1930s, and they will be used again when we start running the movies.
Wow. I wonder if they will even have the sound of the clicking and, old style.
Well, that's what we're hoping for, yes, because when you go to a movie theatre now, it's all digital, whereas we're going to be analog. And that means that you will get that hair possibly going across the gate. You might see the flashing lights when you change the reel, and all of that other stuff that you remember as watching movies as a kid, and that was part of the experience. So we'll be one of the only movie theatres in Ohio that still runs 35mm film.
Won't that be just incredible for the older generation to be able to share that history with their grandchildren?
That's right, yeah.
I think that'll be just incredible.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it just creates that ambience. We can't be a multiplex, and we don't want to be a multiplex, but we do want to show people how things were. And running a classic movie on 35mm film, personally, I don't think you can beat it.
Oh, absolutely not. No, that's what will bring everyone here again and again and again.
Mm-hmm.
All that behind the scenes and that history.
Right.
It's charming.
It is. It is.
So I was here a couple of weeks ago, and you had given me a preliminary tour, and which was just incredible. Could you tell us and our listeners some of the activities that are currently going on?
Right. Well, on the second floor, the Logan Hocking School District actually has that open on a daily basis. And on the third floor, we have the Hocking County Children's Chorus that does all of their rehearsals, and they will also be doing live production here as well. So we're starting to see people coming in here on a daily basis now.
Well, that's wonderful. That will spread like wildfire. That, things are moving, things are starting to progress even more, where, you think that people aren't talking, but they really are.
That's right, yeah. And the big thing that people will see, hopefully within the next few months, is the marquee is actually going to go back up again.
Oh.
And that has been paid for by Hocking Hills Tourism Association. We have got all of the plans. We're just waiting for them to be approved, and then we can go ahead and put the marquee back up again.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, that will make all the difference.
Yes, it will, yeah. If you think of all those flashing lights and everything, it's just going to create that buzz that we all want.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. We'll have to come back and do some footage on that and get that out to the listeners as well. Wonderful.
For sure.
Wonderful. We did talk a little bit about your volunteers and your board members, but how many does it actually take to facilitate this large facility? Because how many square feet is this building?
Wow, that's a very good question. I think it's about 30,000 feet. I'm not sure.
Well, I would believe it because it's huge.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to double check that, to be quite honest. I don't know that answer.
Well, I think you're probably close.
Yeah, it's a huge building, and absolutely, how many people does it take to facilitate something like this? You're right. It's a very, very good question. We have a permanent group of people that are on the board, but we always are looking for volunteers that can take over certain aspects of what we're doing, and we invite the public and anybody who wants to be part of this to come and contact us and be part of the fun.
Well, see, that's good to know. That's good to get that out to the listeners and the residents in the area, because there's a lot of people that are semi-retired or retired looking for things to do, and what a better way to communicate that. So they would get a hold of the executive director?
That's right, yeah. They can call a Logan Theater, the number's in the book, or they can pop down to Main Street and just go into the executive director's office. Sheila usually is there, and she'll be more than happy to talk to you. So if you want to be part of this, I can tell you that it's been a lot of hard work, but it's been very, very gratifying.
Oh, well, we can tell. You're just gleaming with pride, so that's wonderful. So that will be wonderful for other people to experience that as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you know, for something like this, it's not a private thing at all. This is 100% for the community. We're trying to set it up so that it's sustainable for the future, and future generations will be able to appreciate it as well. So that's what we're trying to do.
Oh, wonderful. Can you share with our listeners how they can get a hold of you directly, not just, you know, the executive director, but social media, website, your direct contact info?
Sure. We are very active on Facebook. That's Logan Theater and Community Arts Centre, if you look that up. And our website is logantheater.org, and you can spell theatre E-R or R-E. We made sure that we registered both websites.
Very good thinking. So we want everybody to go to your Facebook page and like you, right?
Yes, please. Yeah, we'd really appreciate that.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is an amazing contribution to the community and its citizens, but how do you think the thousands of visitors that come will benefit from this facility?
Just like I do when I go to different towns and watch concerts, that's what this is going to be about. You know, people are going to come here, they're going to see a live performance venue, they're going to see maybe their favourite artists. It's an intimate venue. It's only going to be around 350 to 400 seats, and it's absolutely perfect for some of these bands that maybe are not at the top of the pile that they used to be, but they want to do more of an intimate concert. If you want to go and see a 35mm production, let's just say Back to the Future or Indiana Jones or something like that, you can go all out nostalgic, and you can come in here and enjoy it. There'll be art programs, there'll be displays. It's going to be great for everybody.
Wonderful. And as close as the Tourism Association is in regards to promoting everything, that will be an extra arm to promote it even more.
That's right, yeah. It's all about creating things for people to do within Hocking County and the surrounding areas, and this is absolutely perfect. The downtown has been ripe for redevelopment for a long time. It's actually happening now, and we are going to be a central part of that.
Well, that's wonderful, because it's just another thing for people to do, especially our repeat guests, because a lot of times, you know, the inclement weather will keep them from the parks, and what better way to get them inside? This will be wonderful.
That's it. It should be lovely and dry.
Absolutely. We'll have to promote that even more when grand opening comes.
Yes, that'll be good.
Yes, we will. Is there anything special that you would like to share with our listeners that you would like to showcase?
One of the things that I'm super proud of is the fact that we have an elevator in this 1926 building. When the building was originally constructed, there was an elevator shaft, but they never put an elevator in. They must have run out of money or something like that. So what we wanted to do was make this as much ADA accessible as we could, and by putting that elevator in, that achieved those goals.
Well, that's really amazing, because not only is that great for senior citizens, but all our students that need that capability too, that come here already.
Right. Absolutely,
That's just awesome. You know, for me, I'm really interested in the restoration of the projectors, because my in-laws had old-time films, and that's how they filmed my sister-in-laws and my brother-in-laws and my husband. Actually, my in-laws were quite older than my husband. He was 44, or my mother-in-law was 44 when she gave birth to my husband. So if you can imagine the age gap, and his oldest siblings are actually 24 years older than him. So
wow.
that it really interests me in regards to the projectors, and us having all that old film and cameras and stuff. So can you go into any detail of that process?
Of course, and actually I've got a similar story as well, because I'm nearly 7 years older than my sister. So of course when I was a kid, I was recorded on Super 8, but of course by the time she got to be a kid, it was on VHS. So
Right.
yeah, so I do remember that. But the projectors that we have are the original ones that were put here in the 1930s. And projection technology didn't really change so much. The lighting did. So back in the day, they would have used carbon arc rods, which to me sounds dangerous. So we've had that converted to xenon light technology. But the actual projectors themselves were very, very complicated, and they were made by a subsidiary of RCA. And I started looking into seeing whether there was any possibility that we could get the projectors up and running again, because a lot of these theatres have opened up again and they just haven't been able to get the projectors running again. But for me, it was something that was very important. And I did a load of research, and I've contacted a few people, and I said, does anybody know how to repair these projectors? And would you believe it, there's a guy called John Williamson, who's a friend of mine now, who is one of the only people in the world that can repair these projectors, and he lives in Lancaster, which is 20 minutes up the road. So it was just an unbelievable stroke of luck, and it was I'm super glad that John wanted to be part of this project as well, and he's been very, very helpful to us.
Wow, I would call that a blessing. Quite honestly, that's amazing to me.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That was meant to happen.
And all the work you've put into this is just truly amazing, that the research and the education that you've had to go through, self-teaching yourself to to pass it on to all the board members and, all the contractors and all the process has been tremendous.
Oh yeah, and it's not ending either, because once we do get to the stage where the building is ready to go and it's ready to be open, I'm going to be trained as a projectionist. So yes, it just won't stop, and I actually quite like that.
Well, yes, you're absolutely turned into be an asset to this treasured gem here. This is just incredible.
Oh, well, thank you. Yes.
Well, I'm just glad that we're able to come and share this with our listeners and all that are going to be able to benefit from this beautiful facility from the past and into the future. How blessed are we?
That's right. Yeah, we certainly are.
We are. We are. Well, thank you so much for having us. For not just the tour, but the education. It's been delightful, and I'm so excited what the future will bring, not just for the theater, but for the community and all the younger generation that will benefit from this from years to come.
Well, thank you. Yeah, and we appreciate the fact that you wanted to be part of this as well, and you're always welcome anytime.
Well, thank you. I hope you will have us back for the grand opening.
Absolutely.
And we definitely want to help you in the future with the fundraiser, okay? Mm-hmm. And I promise we'll get with you. We'll start working on that early spring. How's that?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, great. Again, thank you, listeners, for tuning in again. And until next time, safe travels.